Hello, Usama. I'm doing alright, thank you. Hope you're doing good as well. And hello, Will. Basically, I'm gonna do like 10 minutes of quick practice, just on like Lady Butterfly or something, and then we can quickly watch the Elden Ring thing, I guess. So I just want to watch that, and then we'll actually start runs. Okay, so this file has 9 attack power. Hang on. Keep against your Scream Monkey's 8 Monk, True Monk Shinobi, Divine Dragon. I want to get 2 more attack power. So I want to do... Yes, I just want to quickly check this Lady Butterfly thing with like 1 more attack power or whatever. So I need... I'll get 1 here and then I guess I'll do Demon on what my attack power would be. Hopefully... I mean, we probably can't even get this done in like 5 minutes, but... Guess it's also a tiny warm-up. My cat, yeah. He gets fur everywhere. Gets fur absolutely everywhere. Oh dear. Seriously, Will? You're saying a cat has Viz? What the fuck? Like, actually, what the fuck? Solid opinion. Just why? What do you mean I can't deny it? Yes, I can. It's a cat. I might be dead. Oh, surprisingly not. Okay, Sword Saint warm up. We're gonna get like halfway through the demon fight. Actually, we'll probably only be able to like get to demon because the way this save file is set up. Whatever. No. Yeah, I guess we just run to demon and then we can finish this bit of practice off after and then we'll do runs. I mean, in fairness, Sword Saint is an old dead dude pretty much, so you know, I wouldn't expect him to be in like the best condition. I guess whole point is that's like his prime, whatever, but there's probably not a massive amount of food around this place, gonna be honest. Probably not a lot of food. See, I'm not surprised he's skinny as fuck. An old dead dude with spear, sword and gun chucking lightning from the sky, yeah? He doesn't do, like, you know, it's not that difficult. You know, I do that like every other Tuesday, so... you know, not that impressive. Where am I going? Where the fuck am I going? Okay, that's probably as far as I'm going to get on that for the moment. So... give me a second. The first time he pulls a gun out is something else. Okay, there we go. I guess, like, you know, I'm not going to kill Demon in 2 minutes, so... I don't think this has any audio yet anyway. So I'll do the demon fight on the attack power that I'm currently on next. Then we'll check to see if Lady Butterfly is different at all, and then we'll do runs. If the trailer was actually just like, oh yeah, releasing like tomorrow, I don't actually know how people would manage. Like the entire FromSoft internet would just fucking go ballistic if that were the case. I do think they will put a release date on this trailer, but it's probably going to be... I'm expecting like August or something around that time. Just pre-order now, releasing in 1 hour. Just out of nowhere. No, I think it's probably going to be like August or something. You know, I don't think they would have a trailer if it was still like a year out or something, you know.
Peggy 16.
Okay, how loud is this? Okay, Mog.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men.
Okay, it is about Mikola.
There is nothing more terrifying.
New open area. What the fuck?
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows. They are too faithful.
Was that supposed to be like DS2 references?
They were never saints.
It kind of looks like it in a way to me.
Be on the losing side of a war.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
You can fucking fly kick people in the DLC, okay.
You too are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here.
That sounded like a Falling Star Beast. Or Estelle.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of restless flame.
Come now. Touch the withered arm and travel to
That kind of looks like another god skin, I don't know why.
far behind. May we meet again.
Holy fuck, June. 4 months. 4 months. Holy fuck. Okay, some of this looks like...
Peggy 16.
Let's quickly pause a few moments. I'm kind of interested.
Love to shrive clean the hearts of men.
Yeah, it's exactly 4 months from now.
There is nothing more terrifying.
Okay, it's Mikola. So I guess they are doing a new open area then. Like, I was kind of curious to know what they were going to do. Whether they were going to do like open area with small catacombs and legacy dungeons and this sort of thing, or if they were just going to go like straight sort of traditional Souls DLC of just like doing 2 or 3 sort of normal levels back to back. But it looks like they have put an open area in. That looks cool as fuck. Please, all I'm asking though is please tell me that this isn't a swamp. Like, please just tell me that this isn't a swamp of some description.
In that forsaken place.
That looks like new armor.
Forsaken place.
Okay, this is why I said DS2 reference, because this kind of looks like Gavlan in a way. This looks like Gavlan or Havel or someone, like the armor. I'm assuming it's not, but it just kind of looks like it to me. Okay, this area is very purple. Please don't be like a Deathblight swamp or sleep swamp or something. I love how every area I see, I just instantly go to swamp because of Miyazaki.
Blood must spill. Blood of your fellows.
Like, this looks like Nishandra, or just the way it's set up. This is probably just because I played DS2 recently, but
Blood of your fellows.
it's probably someone completely unrelated or just an NPC.
Your fellows. They are three faithful.
That just looks cool. Why does everything have to have like shallow water though? It's making me so nervous for swamp. Stormveil 2.0, anyone? Stormveil 2.0 or like Fathom but not in the sky is what it looks like anyway.
Saints. They just happen to be on the losing side of a war.
Big dude. I'm curious if there are going to be like catacombs and caves and things in this. Or if it's just going to be like main world thing. That's definitely a grab attack.
Just happen to be on the losing side of a war.
Yeah. That enemy looks slightly sus. This dude looks cool as fuck. Also pretty creepy. It's like a Lion Guardian crossed with like Margit, or like Sarosh crossed with Margit or Beast Clergyman or some shit. Like, actually, it kind of looks like it has the Omen horns on it. Like, these horns will sort of look like the shit that Mog has on it. Which I guess actually, like, Mog, Miquella kind of tie into each other, so... Actually, I want to see the arena. Seems like a pretty standard arena. I assume this will like open afterwards or something. Oh no. Oh no. That looks like Deathblight. That looks like Deathblight. Oh, they're actually putting it in another boss. Oh no. Deathblight is basically Elden Ring's curse. So... It's the same colour as Deathblight. Is this the same enemy that's casting lightning? Yes. That's probably going to be a fucking cool boss then.
Mother, wouldst thou...
And then this dude is going to be like the big fuck off get good DLC boss. This is going to be like your Orphan or your like Gale or someone. Kind of looks like a god skin. Like in the face. Like it looks like the Godskin Apostle face. Like to me that looks like a Godskin Apostle like underneath. Is it the Drake armor he's wearing or is it something different? I said Gale because Gale's more humanoid. Like Mid is a fucking dragon, so yeah, it looks like the Apostle like face almost. Yeah, this is the fuck off and get good DLC boss. Got a ton more incantations and I assume also sorceries. You can fucking fly kick people in the DLC. It's like the Sekiro combat art. I can't remember what it's called.
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikola is doing here.
That's probably a boss as... That look... Given how... That could be a boss, or that could just be like a basic enemy. Although, like... Actually, no, that's a boss. Like, Woman in Field of Flowers. That's a boss. That's like FromSoft 101, Field of Flowers. Like Soul of Cinder, Sword Saint, Gehrman, Melania, like... Field of Flowers is like FromSoft Bosses 101, so... It almost looks like they have some like damageless models in the background here.
Just what kind Mikola is doing here.
If that is a boss though, that is a big fucking arena. Which kind of makes me worried.
Mikola is doing here.
What's behind it? Okay, yeah, I said that this sounded like a Falling Star Beast or a Cell or something, but I think it's just like the weapon art on the sword. I don't think it's like an actual one of those bosses coming back. What the fuck is that? Crocodile crossed with DS3 Monstrosity of Sin crossed with Magma Worm? I guess. Crossed with Porcupine? This kind of looks like a demi-human queen, but isn't it riding a horse? I don't think it's riding a horse, I think it is the horse, but...
Those stripped of the grace of gold shadow. Those stripped of the grace of gold shadow.
And then this fucker again.
Death in the embrace of restless flame.
Come now, touch the withered arm, and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
I don't know who's speaking there. You can get a DLC collector's edition with a statue of the fuck off difficult dude. Mesmer the Impaler. Cool. There's probably quite a lot of bosses in this then. Like major bosses. I think they showed at least like, I want to say 3 or 4 major bosses. Because like there's this dude. Because that's a cutscene. Like that's a cutscene. So this dude is a major boss.
Wouldst thou truly
This dude is obviously a major boss. I want to say this is going to be one as well, but I'm not certain.
death? Those stripped
And then probably that as well. That does look like Midi's arena, to be fair. There's probably a good like 3 or 4 major bosses at least in this then. And the good part, which I think is... I was kind of nervous about, but obviously I don't know if they would even show it, is that I didn't see any existing enemies in it. They didn't show any enemies in there that like already in the base game. Interesting. Well then. Oh, sorry. Well then. There's quite a lot in that. There is definitely quite a lot in that. Looks pretty fucking cool though, not gonna lie. Like the Mesmer dude looks cool. Kind of looks like a Godskin and he kind of looks like a Godskin and Drake Night Armor or whatever it's called. But that looks fucking good, I'm gonna be honest. And yeah, only 4 months. I mean, yeah, you're just gonna have to lock yourself away to play it, yeah. But I think... I don't know, June is like around summer holiday time as well, so I'm sure from a marketing standpoint, they've decided it's a pretty good decision, but... Oh boy. So 4 months seems quite low. So I expected it to be like August instead of June. But I'm not going to complain. That is going to be interesting. Oh, I don't have grappling hook attack on this file. It did look really good. So I'm curious as to how many bosses will be in the DLC. I'm also curious just how big it is. Like, obviously they showed a lot of areas, but... I'm curious overall how big it's going to be. Dude, I should really have made sure to get grappling hook attack before this. It's just something to remember if I do demon at this stage. The only thing I'm curious about is how much the like collector's edition costs and also how quickly it's gonna sell out. Fuck. probably already sold out. Because I remember how tough it was to get the collector's edition, like, for the original game. That's the thing, I want to get one, but it's probably going to be, like, impossible to get it. I think it'll be more than 60. Because it said it came with, like, a statue and I think it had an art book or something there as well. The collector's edition for the original game, I think it was 170, which was the game plus art book plus like Millennia figure, and it might have also had like one or two other things, but that was £170. I'm curious to see how much it costs. Also, if it's like already available, I assume it's already available for pre-order. I didn't see what they said at the end. Okay, I can definitely beat Demon on this attack power. Okay, if this one extra attack power actually makes a difference to Butterfly, then we'll do it this way round. If it doesn't, then I'll probably just leave it as is. So I'm just going to check quickly. Yeah, I think it has already sold out pre-orders. Which is quite something given the trailer was only like 20 minutes ago. Quite something. Okay, anyway, what am I doing? Oh, well, I think it's sold out on, like, Bandai's official website. Like, I'm sure you'll be able to get it on, like, other places. Why have I got no money? Did I really buy that much fucking... I think it was 200 sen I needed for this. So I'm going to try and get it. Like, I'm sure it's still available in other places. I'm more just curious as to how much it is. Okay, so spinning shuriken. Let's just quickly go and check Lady Butterfly with this attack power. . Then also hope the shuriken does a lot. So I don't know how much like the attack power affects like this low. I don't know how much of a change it is. Basically, is it enough for 3 mortal draws to kill her? I fucked up. Let's hope I don't do that in a run. Let's really hope I don't do that in a run. Okay, I still have 1 confetti and echo, so that's fine. I just want to see phase 2. Don't screw it up again. It is okay. It is enough to kill. Just make sure 11 attack power is correct. Hang on. Yobu 2, Genichiro 3, Screen Monkeys 4, Monk 5, Ape 6, Owl 7, True Monk 8, Divine Dragon 9, Headless Ape 10, Demon of Hatred 11. Okay, I'm going to move this around. I'm going to do Demon before Hirata to give me 1 more attack power for Lady Butterfly. Yeah, so I need to change this around. So Lady Butterfly becomes Demon of Hatred. That becomes Lady Butterfly. That becomes Father Owl. I think that's correct. Okay then, let's actually start runs then, I guess. It was all green for 1 second, so it counts, yeah. That trailer looks good, though. 4 months is not a long time. As soon as I finish stream, I'm just going to be watching it. Like, over and over again. So... yeah, our main concern is that there seem to be a lot of places in that trailer that could be some form of death blight or sleep swamp. So there are lots of places in it that look like swamps of some description. I'm kind of curious about how the bosses are going to work. Because, like normally from DLCs are the best, because, of course, like, the game's already been out for a while, you know what people like, you know what they don't like, and so on. So the DLCs are the best because you put all those mistakes, you keep doing what people like, and you fix the things people don't like. And, you know, I think some of the biggest complaints that people have had about Elden Ring are, like, some of the ways the bosses are designed from, like, a mechanical perspective. You know, in terms of how fair they are, or, like, how unavoidable some attacks are, sort of thing. So I'm kind of curious to see... like, to see how they change that. Because generally speaking, like, the best bosses are in the DLCs. Like, DS1 has Artorias, Calamite, Manus. So even though I don't like Manus, like, I'm not going to hate anyone who think it's a good boss. Like, it's fine. DS2 has... what? Elon, Fume Knight, Ivory King? Sin? DS2 has a lot. Bloodborne has Ludwig, Maria, and Orphan. DS3 has Frida, Medea, and Gale. Like, generally speaking, the from DLCs are where the best bosses are. So... Just don't listen, just don't pay attention to what I said. I mean, Sekiro doesn't have a DLC, which is kind of the issue. Neither does Demon Souls. But say, generally speaking, the best bosses are in the DLCs. The other thing I'm curious about is going to be difficulty. I mean, I think Tomaway would have been cool, but there was never a Sekiro DLC, which is annoying. Tomaway would have been cool for a DLC, but... I'd say, generally speaking, the hardest bosses are in the DLCs as well. That bit I'm curious about. Like how the DLC bosses, normally because everyone's much more familiar with the game, they've played it for a while, and all this stuff, you can make more difficult bosses. That bit I'm a bit nervous for. Like, are they going into this DLC trying to make a boss harder than, like, Melania? Because if they are, I'm fucking scared. If they are, I am scared. Nah, shit. But say, it depends how many bosses there even are. Because most DLCs have like 3 or 4. I mean, Bloodborne has 5, but it's because it's the only Bloodborne DLC. I mean, from the trailer, I could probably count... I mean, there are at least probably like 5 bosses in the trailer. As far as major bosses go, there are at least like 2 or 3. And then there are some more there that are... I mean, say, there are some more enemies that they showed that are in places or look like they could be a major boss. Because there was the like dude with like the lion head thing that had Death Blight and Lightning. There's Mesmer. Then of course there's, they showed some other like enemies that could be bosses, like the crocodile porcupine dude and some others. And also the lady in like the field dressed in red could be a boss as well. Although she looks a bit small to be a boss. Like humanoid bosses are normally bigger than that. Like, she could be a boss. Or she could just be like some fancy NPC that ends up hating you. I don't know, like, the place that they showed you fighting her in the trailer looks far too big for her to just be a random enemy. Like, it was a massive field, so... Kind of curious to see what they do. Definitely going to be an interesting one. I want to see how big the DLC is, because I'm assuming that they're only doing this one DLC for Elden Ring. So I'm curious to see how big it is. Because it'll be, what, 2 and a bit years since release? Since, like, the main game's release, so... Kind of excited. I'd say a lot of the areas looked really cool. Like, even the ones that look like some sort of swamp. Okay, first try Gyobu. Oh, you got them back, did you? Okay. I assume they were just where you left them. I guess it's fortunate they weren't taken or anything. Yeah, I'm curious as to how many, like, dungeons they're gonna do. Like, will they still do the side dungeons and catacombs and things, or will they not? And also, like, I think so. It looks like there were Depends how many legacy dungeons there are, like proper FromSoft areas. Kind of looks like there could be 2 or 3. Like, I guess we'll have to wait and see though. Like, I wonder if they will put another trailer out closer to time, or if like that's the one. Yeah, the 1 attack power did make a difference for Butterfly. The 3rd mortal draw actually killed her. So I don't know if that was just like a lucky thing or if that's like consistent. Sort of like how with Headless Ape, sometimes it takes 4 mortal draws, sometimes it takes 4 mortal draws and an R1. So in the test I did before starting this run, the 1 attack power did make a difference. So I'm going to do Demon before Hirata. I mean, say Demon is like... Oh, sure, it's a difficult fight, but it's straightforward enough that I'm confident I can do it on that attack power. And I'll also get the Shuriken upgrades for Butterfly, because it is quite cheap. And it helps with phase 1. So I'll get the Shuriken as well. It's like I have the Sen for it, so... We've still got another hour and a bit. Oh no. Always gonna go so slow. Dude, I'm just gonna spend my evening like browsing various like sites looking for the collector's edition. Like they'll probably already be sold out, but because I think they were. I don't know if they. I think they've been up and sold out. I don't think it's a case that they haven't been made available yet. It's like they're already gone on Bandai's own site, but I'm sure there'll be other sites. Okay, let's not fuck up Genichiro. I mean, I'm sure they will be up on suspicious sites, but there are enough, like, trustworthy ones. Honestly, I won't be too like mad if I don't get it. But I'd at least, you know, I'd want it if I could, but you know, it's not like a make or break thing. Like, if I were that desperate, I probably would have done it, like, while they were doing the trailer or, like, directly after, just gone straight onto the website. You saw on Bandai for €300. What the fuck? There's no way it's that much. Surely it's not that much. Like, the entire game's collector's edition was £170, which... I'm trying to think how much that is in euros. I don't actually know. Actually, does the edition come with, like, is it just the DLC or is it its own copy of the game as well? Yeah, I'm kind of curious if it's also the game or if it's just like a copy of the DLC. I know that does sound like a lot though. But I'm pretty sure the pound to euro conversion isn't too far off from each other, so I think that is still a lot. That's the thing, even though it's sold out, I'd at least like to see what the price is. Yeah, it's probably a lot. Okay, wait, let's just see this quickly. Ouch. Yeah, 250. That is a lot. That is a lot. But I'm sure there'll be other sites selling it. Because like Bandai themselves will probably have a pretty limited number and then they'll pass a lot of copies on to all of the other various sites. So I'm trying to remember when I got my collector's edition. I genuinely think I ordered it like a week after the pre-orders went live. So even though everywhere else is sold out, there was like a couple sites that still had it. I'm assuming that'll be a similar situation. Yeah, I'm just going to have to go through like every single site I know. But I don't think they would only put it through Bandai. I don't think they would only make it available on Bandai's site. I do think they would put it elsewhere. Yeah, hopefully it's not too crazy expensive. So that's the thing, because for the original game, like in the UK, so the original game is £50. Then the collector's edition that came with the Melania statue was 170. And then the like premium edition where you also got the helmet, I think was like 240, 230, somewhere around there. Although I do think it is a bigger figure, which probably affects it a lot. Like I do think the figure in the DLC is bigger than the Melania one. Yeah, so the Melania statue, I think, is like 28 centimeters. I think it's about a foot. But the one in this, I think, is a lot bigger. So it probably will be more expensive overall. Have to see though. I mean, if they are actually already sold out and not coming back, then, you know, it doesn't really matter, but I also need to decide where I'm even going to get the DLC. Like, I'm assuming that I'm going to get it for PC. Given that that's probably where I would play it. Also, now that we have a DLC release date, I want to get this Sekiro no-hit stuff finished ASAP. Because I've mentioned this before. So I've mentioned this before, and now it's actually time for it. Is that I've said that once we're closer to Elden Ring's DLC release, that I want to go back to the base game Elden Ring and do all bosses speedruns. I want to go back and do more all bosses runs. And now that we're 4 months away, kind of seems like it might be time to start practicing again. So what I want to do is, what I think would be really cool to do is do all bosses speedruns like the base game, and then when the DLC comes out, do a run of every single boss in the game and the DLC. Which the base game will be inherently longer because there won't be as many glitches. But once it comes out, I want to do an all bosses base game and DLC run. I want to do like normal all bosses before it comes out. I mean, the most difficult part of like planning that out when the DLC first releases is figuring out how many bosses there are. Because I remember it actually took a couple of weeks, or like, it actually took a couple of weeks when Elden Ring first came out for people to actually like come to the consensus of how many bosses are in Elden Ring. Of like what defines a boss, and even just like finding new bosses in various places in the overworld, or like finding that a cave actually has 2 bosses in it instead of 1, or this sort of stuff. I did not want to speak to you. You remember it actually took a couple of weeks before people came to the consensus of 165. So I'm curious how many will be in the DLC. I'm also want to see if they're all going to be unique. Like, are all the DLC bosses going to be unique? Or they're going to be like maybe a couple overworld bosses that get reused or something? Or are there going to be a couple of like new enemies that get used as bosses somewhere? I say, like, everything in the trailer was unique. Like, it didn't look like anything was the same as the base game, but I'm just pretty excited now, I guess. Like, now there's actually a release, lasting not just a trailer, but a release date on it. And the release date is only 4 months. I think the original game, the time between like the main trailer and release were like 7 or 8 months. So for this to only be 4... Definitely gonna be interesting. Yeah, I now want to get this one finished ASAP so I can start practicing all bosses. I mean, my main goal would be a sub 5. Like, with my route, it's possible. Well, I'll probably change the route a bit, but with the weapons I choose, my goal would be to get a sub 5. Currently, it's a 5:29:40. So I need to take half an hour off through, like, execution route. Okay, let's hear it, Will. How bad can it be? Oh, come on, fuck you. He did such a dumb attack. Well, looks like we have to wait longer. It's not going to be that fun. I'd definitely rather play the Elden Ring DLC. I mean, like, yeah, DS3 DLCs are really good, but I'd rather play the Elden Ring one because it's, you know, newer. I also just like the game's newer, hasn't had a DLC yet, and also I think I've played more Elden Ring than I have DS3 as well. So, like, new content for the game I've played more sounds pretty good. I mean, I'm not. I mean, like, sure, DS3 DLC would be cool, but, like, even if it did, like, it's not going to happen. Even if it did happen, like, obviously, yeah, I'd be excited for it, but I know at this moment in time, with just how much Elden Ring I've played, it's just the more appealing prospect. And obviously, like, my viewpoint is going to be more skewed given that they released the trailer for it literally an hour ago. Just given that we've just seen it. I'd say now there is much more of an incentive on me to get this run finished. So that we can go back to, like, Elden Ring all bosses. Well, what is actually up with you? I swear. Oh dear. What actually is it? You definitely have some interesting questions, that's for sure. Almost fell off. Well, back to the outskirts. Go all the way into Gunfort and then Centipede Wars a dick. So we get to play through the first 15 minutes again. That does kind of... I guess it does kind of put pressure on what I need to do for the next 4 months. Like if I want to get this and the other ending done and still have enough time left to... No, still have enough time left over to do like all bosses stuff. Does put a bit of a clock on it. I would say we have time. Like, even if this took another month, then yeah, we'd be okay, but... I mean, the bigger issue with, like, all bosses is the practice part. The actual run itself, like... There's enough time to play around with it, it shouldn't be an issue. But actually going like through the run again and actually practicing everything is gonna fucking take forever. I mean, Rykard's always a problem because I suck at that fight, but... I would say just going back through all my saves or like and practicing every dungeon and boss and things. Because apart from all the actual glitches, I also just need to remember where I'm going. I need to remember like the path through each dungeon. Which, I mean, it's not that bad. Like, I can probably actually remember most of them right now just because of how many runs of it I did. It's kind of... I have a pretty good mental map of the entirety of Elden Ring because of all bosses. But it's just a case of, like, remembering all that stuff. Because there are definitely a lot of places where shit can go wrong. Like, I mean, I will have muscle memory with some, like, glitches. Or, like, the glitches will probably be quite easy to relearn. Because, you know, they'll be a bit weird to do the first time, then I'll just remember, oh yeah, this is how I do it, and just, like, go into muscle memory mode. But that's it, it's just going to be, like, re-practicing everything. Especially Rykard. I think Rykard and Plastigisax are the only real places that can, like, truly fuck up the run. I mean, obviously any of, like, the major bosses can, but those two mainly. Because of how long, like, the fights are and how long the run back is. like the way all bosses goes, like the first sort of 2.5 hours are pretty content heavy. Like you're doing all of the major stuff. You're doing all the major stuff. You're getting everything you need in that, and that's like the difficult part. But once you're through that, the next like 3 hours are just running from catacomb to catacomb, which in a way it kind of splits up the run quite nicely, because the first half of the run is the mechanically difficult stuff, like the big glitches, the difficult fights, etc. And then the second half of the run is the mentally difficult stuff, you know, where with your weapon you're one-shotting everything, but you need to remember the paths through all the dungeons and various skips. Well, that fucked it up. So it does kind of split it in two, but like even if you lost, you know, even if you lost like a couple seconds per split in all the tiny dungeons, you'd still be fine. Like the run is long enough that it's very forgiving. So, 'cause with my, so even my current route, I could still make the actual routing part slightly better. I could still make the actual routing part itself better. But current route, my sum of best, it's like the minimum time is like 4:47, 4:48. And that's also missing another like minute and a half of definite time save, and then potentially another like even more time to routing or like new skips that I was close to finding before but couldn't like solidify. So I definitely have a decent amount of time to mess around with, like when it comes to getting sub 5. But say once I get this run, then we can probably go back to that. I say once I get this one, we can go back to all bosses. You're really not going to hit... Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have played Liza P. It's a pretty damn good game. It's my favourite Souls-like, definitely. Because, I mean... Like, so I played it a couple times. I started trying to, like... I no-hit a few bosses for fun. I didn't really try learning an actual proper no-hit route, but I learned to, like, no-hit a few of the main bosses for fun. Yeah, and I also did a video on it. I think... It's probably, like, 2 or 3 videos ago, but... I did the entire game at double speed. And there's a video of it on my channel. It's basically sped up all of the enemies and bosses and myself to twice the normal speed. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. As difficult as some of the fights were, honestly, that challenge was a lot of fun. Like, I mean, those are the challenges that I kind of like. The challenges where... My favourite ones are the ones where they force you to play the game differently. Or like they force you to play the game in a very or like in a way you're not used to. It's not just like, oh yeah, you're playing this game the same, but now you do 10 damage per hit instead of 200, so the fights take longer. But where you actually have to like approach fights differently from the beginning. Which obviously you have to do at 200% speed because you can't react to everything quick enough. No, you can't just like dodge every attack and get your normal punishes in because you can't react. It's also why, like, my favourite challenge run that I've done so far is definitely my run of Sekiro, where Sekiro with only posture damage. So I wasn't allowed to do any vitality damage, so I could only kill bosses and enemies with posture. That's definitely my favourite run, like from both a conceptual and a practical standpoint. Because you had to completely change up how you fought bosses. And some bosses became really easy, some became really difficult. Like, Gyobu was super easy. Like, in that challenge run, Gyobu was super easy. But then... That challenge run is the only time where I've ever had to leave Miss Noble and come back later with more attack power. I did not have enough attack power to kill Miss Noble in that challenge. Until I went and got more. I'd say that's still my favourite run that I've done. Because you had to completely change how you fought certain bosses. I honestly, like... I don't know, I think my challenge runs that I've done, I think there's kind of a split between... I think there's quite a big split between cool concepts that I was really happy for and like, or like really excited to do and enjoyed the run, versus, oh shit, I haven't uploaded in 4 weeks, I need to get a video out, sure, this run. Like, there were definitely a couple like that, where the original idea I wanted to do hasn't worked, and then I've kind of scrambled for a quick idea just to make a video on. And so, like, they've still turned out okay mostly, but I wasn't as, like, excited to do the run. Or I was, like, rushing it a lot more because I was just trying to get it finished, sort of thing. The sorcery no FP run, yeah. That, okay, this one's interesting. The sorcery only no FP runs, that was the first edited video that I made. Like, it was the first video on my channel that wasn't just like a cut of a recording for like a speed run or something. And I'm gonna be honest, that challenge, I love the idea. Like, I loved the idea of it, and I loved the challenge of it, especially Rykard. Like, the theory crafting for that run of trying to figure out how to kill Rykard with sorceries on 1 FP bar was a lot of fun. But my god, that video sucks. I sound so fucking depressed in that video. Like, I sound so depressed in it. The video absolutely fucking sucks. But the actual run itself, I really enjoyed. And like the actual like figuring out, say, especially for someone like Rykard. Because that run, say the Rykard bit was really fun. That run also had my first no-hit Melania. The sorcery only run was the first time I ever no-hit Melania. So like, there were a couple important parts in that, or like things that I still am like proud of, and it was a fun run, but the video absolutely fucking sucks. So it's the, I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's like it's like sorcery only Elden Ring, but I can't heal FP or something like that. Like that's the thing, I sound so like depressed and sarcastic in that. It was also a different mic as well, so I think I just sound different in general. In fairness, it is also a different style to what I do now. Because I think... So that run, the NPC Invader run, which I think was directly after it, and the Dark Souls 3 No Spending Souls run, those 3 videos were scripted. Like, those 3 videos I went through the recording, wrote a script for, and then, like, did a voiceover of. Whereas every other run that I've done has been, like, I guess, like, run sort of highlights or, like, cuts of runs. It's like those 3 videos are basically just recorded, like, just the game, sort of sat there in silence, or you know, like, didn't record my voice, and then had like just the game footage and audio and wrote a script to go over it and did a voiceover. Whereas every other run I've recorded my own audio like as I'm doing the run, and then the videos are basically like cuts of that. So I said they are a difference in style as well. Like I think for like there is a difference in style between, because I think in the case of edited videos or like voiceover runs, in the case of like voiceover ones, I think there's more of an emphasis on like I kind of feel like there's more of an emphasis on music. Like you kind of need to have some sort of background music in there. If you're doing a voiceover, you can't just sort of have the voiceover in the game audio. Especially since in those ones there's more of a... You're more likely to have muted audio a lot of the time when doing voiceovers. Like you're not always going to actually have the game audio playing. So there's more of an emphasis on the music side. Whereas with these, like, with just, like, sort of stream cut runs, if you call them that, or, like, video cut runs, they're... Like, I don't think the music is as important. I think these ones are more forgiving in the sense of you don't always need the music. Or like they don't necessarily feel like empty without it. I mean, honestly, if you go through all my videos, you can kind of see like quite a big change when it comes to like testing different things out or like this sort of stuff. Because the first couple of videos are more just like, you know, just sort of write a script and say it, put some footage over it type thing. But then I started... But then as you go on, you sort of see that I start trying out various like montages or edits or things. So I think... So I guess it's just kind of like in sort of style or the way I like to make a video. I think pretty much every run I've done has some sort of like compilation part in it. Whether it's like attempting a certain boss a ton of times, or like going through a ton of bosses, or like most of them tend to have something in there. And then a couple of them I've also just tried out like full-on edits. Like not just like montage stuff with music, but proper like more flashy stuff, which like, you know, I slowly get better at it. Like obviously it's not going to be perfect, but I slowly get better at it. I think the two of those types I've tried are in the DS3 No Souls and in the Liza P video. Well, those two runs are more sort of like proper edits, or like those edits that I did in those ones are basically me just prattling about with lighting effects and just seeing what they all did. Basically me just messing around with like lighting effects and transitions and seeing what they did, whereas the other ones are more just like cuts with music type stuff. So I do like that you can kind of see, because that's the thing, because the Sorcery No FP run, the first one, like that, so that wasn't just like my first edited video, that was just my first time using editing software. So you can definitely see like it does get better sort of over time. I also kind of feel the same way about thumbnails. Like they kind of get better over time. Or like the more recent ones. Like even though they're the same sort of idea. Oh yeah, the majority of my thumbnails are basically background image with PNG of certain character or characters with a bit of text. Like that's basically what my thumbnails are, but like even just looking at them, there's a definite like increase in quality or like composition for them. Especially if you look at like some of the early ones. That is actually something I like to do though. Like whenever I make a thumbnail, like whenever I do that sort of thing, I have a folder that has all my thumbnails in it that I've done for videos. And whenever I finish making one, I always like open up every single thumbnail at once. and like look at all of them next to each other. So I like put them in order of when I made them, and I open all of them at once, so they're all on one monitor in order that I made them, and then I like look at the last one and compare it to all of my previous ones that I've made, and kind of just see like what they look like and the difference and stuff. It's nice just like in one way look at the progress, but also it helps to see if it's actually gonna, you know, like stand out or anything. I mean, see if they're the same style, but also just see like, you know, I like looking at them to see how like the quality's improved or like how I've improved on making them. You know, or do they just look shit sort of thing. It's just a nice thing I do. Like, it's not super important, but I just like doing it. Like, normally it never actually changes anything unless I notice something, like, super wrong. I don't think I've ever had to, or like gone back and changed the thumbnail after looking at all of them together. But it's just like a nice thing to look at. So there probably will be a slight video drought coming up because there was just the Radahn video. Then honestly it's probably not going to happen, but I'm trying to finish off the 1.0 run for Sunday because that's the 25th, which is the 2-year anniversary of Elden Ring. So I'm trying to finish the run off for that, but I mean, we'll see if we can. So, like, there's going to be 2 edited videos in the space of a week, plus the Purification no-hit run, which was also, like, a couple days before that. Or, like, a week before that, and then... and then for the next one, I'm going to have to... Because, of course, they were already recorded. So, the next one, I'm going to have to come up with a run idea and also do the run. So it'll definitely take longer than these ones. Now I'll still find a time. I'll still find a time. I mean, it just means that I can't really do any story stuff until I've finished the video. I can still like log on and stuff, but trust me, I will still find the time. I mean, it's what, Wednesday today, so I've got Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, Friday evening, Saturday evening. So I've got like 4 days to do it. Could be interesting. It's going to be a lot of time spent per day. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, I think I can. Like, you know, I've already started it, so It's not like I need to start from fresh, but I'd say if it's not done, I'm not going to rush it. Like, it would be nice to get it out on the 25th, but you know, I'm not about to like rush to finish it to make sure it is. Like, if it comes out a bit later, that's fine. But ideally the 25th. But then yeah, it's just a case of picking the next run. I say I have some ideas for Elden Ring, Sekiro, and DS3. So I just need to pick one of those. I say could do DS3, but you know, say it's just a case of which one I feel like doing. I'm pretty sure all three of them are mods of some description, so you know, probably just depend on which one I choose to install first. Or like if I have any issues with the others, like installing or functional, then I won't do those, but so we'll see. But say like, so that will be the sort of video edit stuff. And then obviously I also have this one, or if I finish it at some point, then Elden Ring All Bosses is like the sort of default stream. The only slight issue with All Bosses is it's long. Like, one complete run is real time. I want to say like 6 hours. A complete run will be like 6 hours, so I guess I probably would need another like default stream because I won't always have 6.5 hours to do attempts. I'll have it some days, but obviously sometimes I'm not going to have that much time, so and also I'm not going to like do a run, get like 4 hours in and then pause it and come back the next day to finish it. Like, I'm not doing that, so I'm sure you will beat Dark Lurker soon. Like, I mean, you've spent a lot of the time actively practicing the fight, and you're getting like more leveled, so I'm sure it will come pretty soon. It is definitely one of the harder DS2 fights, in fairness, especially if you have low damage. but oh yeah, if you've gone down to a quarter, then you're doing pretty well then. Like, getting pretty close. So I haven't fought Dark Lurker in 3 years, so I can't really remember what my strategy was. I think I first tried it, but I might have just been lucky. I mean, are you using any, like, infusions at all? Because, I mean, I don't know what Dark Lurker's weak to, but... I don't know what it's weak to, but I'm going to assume it's resistant to Dark. Given it's in the name, but... Oh, you are using lightning. Okay. I'm sure it's probably weak to lightning then. So I can't really give any advice on it because I can't remember how you do the fight. But I'd assume the ideal way to do it would be to get him close to half and then just like fully buffing everything and try and melt it as quickly as possible, but... So I'm sure you'll get it soon. It's your last base game boss, right? Because you beat the dragon. Yes, you just have Dark Lurker and then the DLC bosses, yeah. You said you'd entered Shoulder, right? So... Did you just like have a look or did you get anywhere with it when you went in there? So it's probably my least favourite main area of the DLCs, but it's still a good area. But I still like it. I still like it, I just think that the other two main DLC areas are better. Okay, you just went to the bonfire, fair enough. Didn't really want to... I guess didn't really want to spoil it before you actually beat all of the base game. I think like all three of the DS2 DLC like main areas I think are really good. Like there are a couple parts in some of them that are a bit annoying from what I can remember. Sword Dragon. Oh, you mean yeah, isn't there a dragon like at the very start, like sleeping or something? Definitely a boss. I'm not gonna say anything. It might be a boss, it might not be a boss. It might just be a difficult enemy. Might be purely for aesthetics and you don't even fight it. You know, I'm not gonna spoil it. I didn't spoil it earlier. I said the names of the bosses. Well, actually, I said the names of some of the bosses. I didn't even say every boss in the DS2 DLCs. So the dragon could be one of the bosses I named. It could be one of the bosses that I didn't name. It could just not be a boss. Like, you know, you don't know. So I only mentioned like 3 or 4 of the bosses, I think. I mean, so all I'll say is, you know, there are 3 bosses in that DLC. So, you know, if it is a boss, it's got to be one of the 3. If you find 3 bosses and it hasn't shown up yet, it's not a boss. So that's not where I want to go. Yeah, it's for you to find out, let's just say. Yeah, yeah. Hey, if you want me to spoil more, I can. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want me to spoil more of the DLC, I absolutely will, so be careful. I mean, why didn't the boss names go in one ear and out the other ear then? Well, surely they should have gone in one ear, out the other. Because now he can take the piss, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, in fairness, like, the DS2 DLC bosses, like, some of them are pretty good. Let's say there's, like, 3 questionable ones. Actually, in my opinion, there's 1 questionable one, 1 okay one, and another okay one. Oh, I absolutely would spoil stuff. I absolutely would. I've just never done it yet. Okay. Grab those, Akko. I would say, I mean, the DLCs are going to be fine, like, especially if you beat Dark Lurker. You know, finish off all the base game, then the DLCs will be okay. Like, even though the bosses are way harder than base game, but I'm sure you'll get along just fine with it. Well, holy fuck it. Is it already 5 o'clock? What? Holy damn. Okay. Did not realise it was 5 o'clock. Interesting. I didn't even realise it was already 5 o'clock. It doesn't feel like that. I guess the trailer was at 3. Well, that does feel weird then. It's already 5. Well, I guess, yeah, we watched the trailer, then finished off the practice, and then we had a run make it all the way to Gunfort, and then this run. I guess, yeah. It just seems weird that it's already 5. I know, it just doesn't seem that late to me. I guess maybe also partly now that, like, you know, daytime is starting to get longer. I guess maybe that could be a factor as well. But I don't even think that's a factor for me because I have my back to my window. So I can't see whether it's day or night outside. It just feels odd. It just feels later than it should for some reason. Time for big quest. Time for long, like 5-minute quest to buy 2 things. How convenient. I mean, the window backs into our back garden. So if there is anyone on it, if there is anyone on the outside of the window, then there's a bit of an issue. Like, so if it were the front garden and like just onto the drive and the street, then yeah, sure, but what am I doing? But it goes into the back garden, so probably got bigger issues than, you know, someone getting a free viewing of me playing Sekiro through the window. You know, there's probably bigger issues than that. Where the fuck am I going? Oh, eavesdrop person. Man, I could always just draw the curtains. Close them, rather. You know, that would also solve that issue. Okay, speak to this dude again, then I think we go to Senpo guy. Or one more time, then Senpo guy, and then we go back, yeah. Oh dear, you really are just going for this, aren't you? Anyway, about the Dark Souls 2 DLC, do you want to know what the bosses are? Just spoil it. I could also spoil the entirety of Bloodborne for you, because I'm pretty sure you're doing that one after DS2. I have the power. Okay, where's this guy? Yap, 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 yap. Okay. Finally done with the long quest. I always forget what I'm buying here. It's what, 4 confetti, 5 echoes? So I'm pretty sure this is only just for ape and demon. So I'm pretty sure it's 5 echo, 4 confetti. How did that chicken see me? And then Fountainhead. Okay. Time for dragon. No, I'm only just realizing now that I did move demon earlier. Like, it's now starting to set in that I only have 2 more bosses before demon. In that I'm going to have low attack power. Yeah, I have an older brother. About 2 years. Yeah, I'm now actually not looking forward to fighting demon. Why did I put him at this point in the run? Should not have put him this early. Yeah, I did. Okay, anyone? You. Where the hell are the others? Okay, and then there's this dude here. I'm just going to wait for one more tree. Just wait for one more tree. There we go. Okay. Honestly, I always get kind of nervous about Dragon for no reason. I don't really know. I guess because it's a pretty easy fight, I always get nervous about fucking up and losing a run to it. You know, because it's supposed to be easy. Okay, then there's one over there still. I'm just going to wait for another attack. This is 3 lightnings, right? So this is number 4. What the fuck is that? Oh, come on. I have never seen him do that attack. I've never seen that attack. You know what I was saying about Dragon? I've never seen that attack. Ever. But that's it, it's not even like, oh yeah, I screwed up this fight. I do not recognise that attack. Did not know that was a thing he could do. Oh, fuck this. Since when was that an attack? So I've never seen that. I didn't have a hope of avoiding it. I've never seen that attack. Oh dear. I was never going to avoid that. Well, that does suck. Could have been a pretty decent run as well. You know, could have gone and like tested out Demon at this attack power like in a proper run and Lady Butterfly and all this stuff. Looks like it will go on for another day. Oh boy. It was as soon as I said that like I'm nervous about Dragon because it's an easy fight. And then Dragon pulls out an attack I've never seen. Oh god fucking damn it. Why can't... This is what I always say, why can't I do this shit on speed runs? Or challenge runs? Why does it have to be no hit? And why do FromSoft have to make the most, like, unlikely attacks possible? Like, why can't they just leave that attack out the game? I don't even know what would have caused it. Maybe it's because I grappled after the lightning. Like, I threw the lightning and then grappled to a different branch. Like, would that have done anything? I mean, hey, we get to do this for another couple days then. As we still try and get the run. I mean, we can still go for like a one hit, but that's a pretty sad one hit. Rip. Now I'm just pissed off. So, oh dear. Could have been the run. I guess that's the case with like any run that gets reasonably close now, is that it could be the run. You know, now that it's like, I know how to do all the bosses, I know how to do all the movement stuff. You know, any run could be the run. Oh well. So now we do Demon on the reduced attack power. To basically test out the idea that the extra attack power for Lady Butterfly makes phase 2 safer. That's the idea anyway. That's the plan. I mean, it also just gives us an extra attack power for both Hiratas. I guess that's also nice, but... I mean, not that Hirata's necessarily an issue in terms of attack power, but, you know, it's always nice for something like Drunkard. Yeah, the lower attack power definitely shows. I have 2 less than normal, and it does show. I'm still okay, like, we can manage this fight at this attack power without many issues. What are you doing? I need to be careful that I don't step into the fire. That was a very greedy hit. Dude, where are you going? This means all my buffs have worn off from it, only half done with this phase. I mean, although, like, if this does make Lady Butterfly more consistent, I am happy to go for it. Like, if this helps with the Lady Butterfly situation, I am more than happy to do this. The fact we're at a stage where Lady Butterfly causes more issues than Demon is quite something. Definitely something. Dude, can we stop being in this corner though? I think that's a good way to put it. Like, Demon is difficult, but it's a very predictable fight. Like, there's a way to deal with every attack. They're just difficult attacks. Whereas Lady Butterfly can be very unpredictable. And Lady Butterfly can get out of hand very quickly. No, with the wrong RNG, Lady Butterfly gets out of hand and out of control very quickly. I think Demon is difficult, but there's a very obvious counter for every attack. This Lady Butterfly is dealing with multiple attacks at a time. Like, especially in phase 2 with all the clones and the like spirit things. Okay, so I need... They're almost home, nice. I need 3 of this shit. I don't even have max emblems. I'm pretty sure at this point I don't need to buy anything else. It does seem odd that I don't even have max emblems. Where do I use them all? I thought I should normally have max. Did I use any extra anywhere? I'm trying to think I needed extra emblems for any of these. I don't think I did. Not entirely sure why I don't even have max then. I did use them all on Ape, but that shouldn't make a difference. I say it doesn't really matter because I'll get a ton from Shinobi Hunter and Drunkard. Actually, no, I guess, no, the thing I'm completely forgetting is that the emblem count before, like before this run, I wouldn't have done Demon. So I wouldn't have just spent how many emblems on demon. That's probably what it is. Yeah, because I guess now I don't need to worry about having enough emblems for demon and sword saint at the end. What? How? Oh shit, not this situation again. That's one way to no-hit Shinobi Hunter. That is definitely a way to no-hit Shinobi Hunter. I think that's actually like the second time recently that I've messed up that strat. Maybe I should look at that as well then. Interesting. Maybe I do need to look at that. Because that's the second time recently that those dudes have aggroed. Yeah, that's definitely a way to do Shinobi Hunter. Definitely not the correct way. Let's say that much. Definitely not the correct way. Yes, I have one more attack power for this entire region then. Which hopefully, I mean, it might help out a bit with Drunkard. I don't think it will though. Where is he? Why is he never de-aggro after that anymore? Well, hello Ratchet, how are you doing? Hope you are doing good. Okay, confetti. So I only tested out the extra attack power on Butterfly, I didn't test it out on like Drunkard. I mean, let's see if this actually makes a difference. I doubt it will. That was a bit lucky. Yeah, I don't know how long this fight normally takes, so I don't really know if this attack power is making that much of a difference. That's going to second version of Hirata State. Nice, nice. So am I, in fact. Once I've dealt with Lady Butterfly. Okay, we have one more attack power now. Which hopefully makes the second phase more consistent. And we have the spinning shuriken, which might help slightly with the first phase. So now I do that and it knocks her down. And I can get a bit of vitality damage in. Okay, yeah, that definitely helps. Does she keep jumping though? Or is that just RNG? If she keeps jumping, then there's a chance that she could potentially burn through my shurikens. But you know what? That works pretty well for that phase. That works pretty well. I missed! Oh, come on. Okay, turns... I didn't even get the snap seed. Fuck. Okay, turns out... I mean, in fairness, even without the extra attack power, that wouldn't have made a difference. Because I just missed. Okay, I don't actually know how you do this fight in this phase. Oh boy. What can I and can I not deflect? I mean... I don't know how, but that was hitless. I don't know how. In fairness, the attack power didn't matter there, because I just completely missed the second MD. I mean, in actual fact, the attack power did help there, because it meant that after... Bro. Bro, I swear to God. Fuck's sake. Turns out I wasn't actually testing out the extra attack power because I forgot to use it. No, I was wondering why it didn't look to be making much of a difference. No, I wondered why I couldn't really tell a difference in attack power with Drunkard. It's because I didn't have extra attack power. I forgot to use it. It's always like, oh, Drunkard doesn't seem to be any easier. It's like, yeah, that's because I didn't use the attack power. Oops. I mean, if anything, that just makes the butterfly fight more impressive. Because I managed to survive that with the lower attack power. Interesting. I guess it's something to keep in mind for next time then. Make sure you actually use it. Top 10 smartest moments, yeah. Completely change the route in order to get an extra attack power for Lady Butterfly, and then don't use the attack power. Very smart decision. Okay. You can definitely tell it made a difference there. Yeah, it definitely made a difference on that drunkard. That was quick. Yes, if I actually remember to use it for butterfly, then we might be in business. If I actually use it, could be good. Okay. Best fight in the game. I'm in an interesting position there, right up against the pillar. Okay, where's the owl? Dude, have I really done that many MDs? I only have 4 emblems. Easy. I'm kind of hoping this is like my PB. Like how on my PB, I got hit by the fish, and then I was so grateful when I got hit by Ishin because it meant that my only hit wasn't the fish. No, because I'd actually been hit another time and it wasn't just the fish. I'm kind of secretly hoping that here, that Ishin hits me again, so it's not my only hit being on Dragon. That would be very embarrassing though. I honestly, my only hit in an All Memories run being to Dragon would not be good. Well, let's find out then. Close out the run. Will it be 1 or will it be more? Oh dear. So Ishin is the same attack power because we just moved around the stuff earlier than him. So this fight isn't changed. Okay, why does he always back himself into the corner? That was my fault. I thought that first deflect would kill him. I thought that first deflect would kill. And so I instinctively... Basically, I pressed L1 and then immediately pressed R1 because I thought it would kill him. And then it didn't, so I got hit. Yeah, see, I know how to deflect that attack. It's just because I got really complacent and thought it would kill. If I was smart about it and just kept deflecting until the actual thing came up, then it would have been fine. Woo. I mean, in all fairness, this one's... Apparently I actually need to practice Ishin more. Because apparently I always just get really complacent and fuck up the Ishin fight at the end. But this was basically a one-hit run. Because Ishin was just me being complacent and stupid. So I mean, 3 hits, but basically 1 hit. Or like 2, depending on how you count hits. Because like some people count hits as just like a sequence, and others count it as every instance. It's like I count every single hit as 1, but then because the second Ishin hit was unavoidable, like once I got hit the first time, the second hit was unavoidable. So some people count it as 1 because it's like part of the same sequence, but I always count it as 2 because I count them as separate. It doesn't really matter until the number says 0 though. Yeah, I have this one in the bag. I also honestly like doing Demon earlier. After trying Demon earlier, I actually really like that. Because of course the biggest thing that's caused me issues recently is Hirata. So now, knowing that once I do Hirata, it's final boss, you know, like Purification, rather than once I do Hirata, oh god, now I have to also do Demon. I think it's better having Demon earlier so that I get it out of the way with, and I also have the extra attack power for Hirata. Makes it a lot nicer. Because that's also what I'm used to because of Purification. So you put all the new stuff slightly earlier. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Hopefully it'll be quite soon. Hopefully it will be quite soon. I mean, even so, I'm still mad at the dragon hit. That was still irritating. Still an irritating hit, but... I mean, in all honesty, that was a pretty good run. Let's go hitless. I want to see a hitless Alfather. Try and do hitless. Ratchet. Yeah, I think that is me done. honestly a pretty good day. We had the Elden Ring trailer, and then we had a pretty decent run. And also my computer didn't stutter at all. This was on PC. My computer didn't stutter at all during the run, which was also good. So all I did was put some air on it to clear it out a bit. Actually, I want to check something quickly. Like, if I pull this up... And this is the run I just did. So we're watching stream on stream. But I just want to look at Sword Saint. Like the Sword Saint hit. Is this really the best quality? Yeah, I think this is the best quality I'm getting. But that's the posture bar. Like, I'm trying to work out how that didn't kill. Because it's basically maxed here. It falls off slightly. I'm not actually sure how this deflects didn't kill. Because I did that deflect and then went for the R1 for the death blow. But looking at the posture, I'm not entirely sure how this one deflects didn't do that much posture. Where's Sekiro? Guess that's just a slight mistake, but... Well, yeah, that's going to be done. So that's going to be us done for today. It's like Elden Ring DLC, pretty decent run, very few mistakes, pretty easy mistakes to fix. This one should just be a matter of time now. Next stream is Friday. Friday will probably be Dark Souls 2. It will probably be Dark Souls 2 unless I am really in the mood for this. Like, because of how close I am now, we've had a lot of like 2, 3, 4 hit runs that have been making it to Fountainhead, to Hirata, all this sort of stuff. So if I'm really feeling it, it might be Sekiro, but it will probably be DS2. Just like, it could be either, depending on how I'm feeling about runs. Yeah, next stream Friday, nothing Saturday. Don't know if I'm going to have time to do like a makeup stream at any point, like to make up for it. DS2, we're at Brightstone Cove. I think that's where we're starting from. But yeah, I guess in a way a slightly shorter stream because it was only like one full run and one to Centipedes, but we did also start earlier, so about 3 hours. So yeah, next stream Friday, probably about 3 PM again. Hope to see you all there, so take care.